Well, it seems we may have some good news. I say may because I'm very skeptic of anything Jeff Bezos produces. But Henry Cavill is announcing that he's not just going to star in the new Warhammer TV show, he's also going to be involved in the production. And this generated a lot of buzz, especially due to the fact that many content creators, even here on YouTube, have announced in the past that the project isn't going to go forward. That Henry Cavill and Amazon have decided to part ways. And this announcement is shocking people. So I, as a content creator, can help you understand what's happening behind the scenes. Like, why did this disconnect at this magnitude happen? Because several large content creators announced the same thing. So in order for you to understand what it's like, if you're a content creator, if you're a YouTuber, like if you yourself start a channel right now, and you do it for like 1, maybe 2 years, you're going to notice that eventually you gain popularity if you have some talent. If you have something interesting to say, you're going to start getting subscribers. Now, usually, when you get to around 50,000 subscribers or so, you're going to have people that are beginning to DM you. They watch your channel, they like your stuff, they resonate with what you say, and so they're going to start contacting you. And these people work at various companies, and they'll be like, hey, I happen to work at Blizzard, and what you said about this is not exactly true. Or, hey, I happen to work at Ubisoft. Many of my colleagues absolutely despise your shit, but, like, I happen to watch you, right? So, this is how YouTubers get insiders. Like, we don't actually go look for them. They come to us. Now, due to the nature that it's the internet, and due to the fact that anyone can contact you, obviously you get a lot of trolls. Obviously you get a lot of people that may claim they work at Ubisoft, but in reality, they're just pulling your leg. So what you do is, well, you ask for some proof. You ask for a badge. You ask for some information that only they have access to, right? And so they will do what they can in order to provide it. It's up to the YouTuber's judgment. It's up for you to make a decision whether you believe them or not. And chances are that, you may actually believe them and they may even be legit. But even after they prove that they do work at Ubisoft, they may still try to pull your leg. They may still try to bullshit, right? And so, like, you're never 100% sure. And you can't ask for their driving license or their passport or, like an actual photograph of them, because no one is going to give you that because you're just a YouTuber. You're not the press. And so you got to work with what you have. These are your sources. It's people that claim that they work at these companies, and then each and every individual YouTuber tries to vet them. And once you vetted them, well, there you go. Now, take into account that these sources, even if they don't try to lie, even if they are being honest and they generally want to help, they're very rarely upper management. Like, it's not going to be like some CEO from Amazon contacting a YouTuber or, because they would go to the media. It's not going to be like some higher up. It's usually going to be like a middle management type person at best, or someone that just happens to work at the company. And their knowledge of what's happening at the company is also severely restricted. Because most companies, they compartmentalize. And you may have, like, some individual that, sure, like, he may know what his team of artists is working at. He may know, like, some of the company emails and policies that he's receiving. But he doesn't know the big picture. Or if he knows some things, they come from gossip. So in this situation, what I think happened is because, especially a lot of different content creators with different sources claim the same thing, I generally think it's a possibility that Henry and Amazon were during negotiation stages, and maybe Henry did get upset and said he's not willing to work, but then Amazon looked at the current culture. They saw what's happening with the AAA industry. They're seeing Donald Trump winning again. They're seeing the left unable to cancel people anymore, right? Like, Hogwarts is a huge success, despite the fact that leftists are trying to boycott. Wukong, amazing success, despite the fact that leftists are trying to boycott. Jeff Bezos himself has a couple of interviews recently where he's like, you know what? Maybe Donald Trump shouldn't be afraid of the press. Maybe I'm not really such a left-leaning person if they're going to start taxing unearned income gains, like that type of shit. So maybe they're willing to try. Maybe it's like, you know what? Give this guy a chance. Why the fuck not? Like, what do we have to lose at this point? Just give him a chance. So they probably called him again, and it's like, hey, So from your insider, like, they may actually know, well, from their point of view, the negotiations are over, right? But they're not privy to the upper management, so they actually don't know what's happening there. And so they may have fed wrong information to YouTubers. And also, take into account, I know content creators that don't have jack shit, but they claim they have sources. Other content creators that will just look at someone like Clownfish TV or some other larger YouTubers, and if they say something, then they do the Chinese whisper and they put it on their channel and they use it as a source. So this is why it's happening, because I saw a lot of people confused. It's like, well, but like the content creators that I trusted told me such and such. And every single time I talk about my channel from stuff that I have from my sources, I tell people, like, this is a source, take it with a grain of salt, right? Like, this is a hypothesis, I have it on a rumor, and I don't make a video based around the rumor. Maybe it has happened, I don't fucking know. Like, I've been on the industry for more than 7 years now, but usually the video is about something else, and I can tell you from what I hear behind closed doors. Like, that's how I frame it. And I usually say something that my sources tell me. But I don't try to make a video surrounding the thing. Regarding Henry Cavill deciding to leave the production, that's, again, something that a lot of content creators were saying and other people were parroting it. But I did hear from my own sources as well that this was the case. So I think something did happen there. I think it's just the fact that the culture is shifting. Now, can he make a good 40K movie? I don't fucking know. It's Amazon. Like, most of these companies have TOS. Like, for instance, if I wanted to make a Postal game, it may not be approved on Steam, right? So, like, I could probably use all the edgy humor, the banter and shit, but when you try to publish the game, Steam has a TOS and it doesn't allow hate speech, right? Like, right now it's in trouble with the US Senate. There's some senators pressuring Steam based on some bullshit ADL report. Because they have a lot of Pepes. They got a lot of Pepes in the platform, and the anti-Semitism is big. Honestly, if I was Steam, I would just ban the Pepe. I would ban Pepe, and it's like, okay, we dealt with the anti-Semitism. But I don't know what they're going to do. Still, the idea is that the reason you don't see the same creative freedom that existed back in the year 2000 is that a lot of these platforms have TOS. Amazon is one of them. If you look at Amazon's platform, like, they require diversity, they require inclusivity and equity and all the bullshit. They basically promise their viewers that if you consume Amazon products, you are going to get diversity, inclusivity, and equity. And so, I don't know the freedom that he has, right? Because even if he's the producer, he's going to have, like, someone supervising him and saying, yeah, no, like, we don't like this, or yeah, no, we don't like that. Warhammer 40K is a very edgy universe, right? And it has to be edgy in order for it to be grimdark. Like, the Space Marine is, and the Imperium of Man, they have to be xenophobic. They have to be fascistic. They have to be theocratic. Otherwise, it's not grimdark, right? But if you do it like that, a lot of woke people don't like it. So the woke people are in Amazon. Like, when Amazon allowed what's the comedian guy named? Dave Chappelle, right? When they allowed Dave Chappelle to say a few jokes, there was a transgender lady that broke into the conference room of her boss and started screaming at her boss, and she didn't get fired for that, right? Like, how do you allow Dave Chappelle? How do you allow? And those people are still there. They do walkouts, they do protests. They don't want Warhammer 40K to be successful because it's not theirs. They're like a general that's seeing, like, an invading force onto their battlefield. And so even if they were to like 40K and they would have no problem with it, they still have to pretend that they do have a problem with it. They still have to pretend that they do have an issue with it. And so I don't know how it's going to be like. Hopefully it will be good. I mean, I want the West to make good entertainment. Don't get me wrong. Like, I genuinely want the West to make good entertainment. Because if they don't, then China takes over. And you're going to have South Korea taking over and Asia taking over. Like, from the point of view of someone that's just in it for entertainment and doesn't give a shit, that's fine. But you're going to eventually get Chinese values And you're going to get people that like China the same way that weebs like Japan, if you allow it to happen. And the only way to stop it is not by criticizing or banning it, because you're not going to be successful, is by creating competing entertainment that's even better than they do. And so I generally hope that Amazon and other companies will actually start making good shit. But I guess time will tell us if they're going to be successful at it. Let me know what you think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.